who has, for anybody who's just joining, if you're able to come on to your camera, it's so nice for me to see your faces and connect with you. If you cannot, that's also okay. Let me do one thing. I'll be right back.
In the meantime, I want to mention, hello everyone, welcome, our last series, but there are more coming. I just want to mention, if you need credits from UG for your wellness program, please type in your email, your UG email. Otherwise, if you don't know what any of this means, you are probably none of these and doesn't apply to you. So, welcome Amaya whenever you are ready.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. So lovely to see so many returning faces and I think a couple new ones. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
For those of you who have not met me yet, my name is Amaya Shiva. I am an Ayurvedic practitioner and Vedic life coach. And what I'm going to teach you about today is some of the juiciest stuff of Ayurveda that everybody wants to know about. And it's really about, how do we age gracefully? What can we do to slow that process? And that's what we're going to cover today. Magda, do you mind muting yourself? Because I can hear some stuff. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give you some of these amazing tools and secrets that are really going to support you in looking great, feeling great, all the things, right? Because it's not so much the aging that is terrible. It's like, it's losing your health. It's feeling like you don't, like, who is this person? I don't feel good in my body. And so I'm going to give you some really, really powerful tools to support you in this process, to slow down some of those processes that happen as part of aging, and so much more. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen. I've got some slides for you. Yeah, so really looking at this complete system of wellness and how can we stay vital and youthful and enjoy things. And I'll tell you that my Ayurveda professor, Dr. Basant Lad, who's probably the most famous Ayurvedic physician in the West, he is still teaching every single day. He's 80, I think 4, and he's very limber, very fit, like he's taking care of himself. He looks fabulous. Like, yes, he's 84, but like a really healthy, awesome 84. And, Ayurveda is the science of life. So what can we do? How can we live to optimize that vitality and wellness so that we can feel good as we age? Well, I guess, the first question to answer is, what is actually happening as we age? What is going on in the body? I mean, really a lot of stuff, right? Number one thing that we tend to notice first is what happens to the skin, right? There's this loss of elasticity, right? Collagen production decreases about 1% per year after the age of 40. And things, things start to slow down. Your hormone production decreases, and your body is just kind of drying out. And the reason I chose this picture of the grapes and the raisins is because this is where we're all headed. We're all born as these plump, juicy babies, right? Like full of water and life. And then we kind of shrivel up. And we can have some humor about it because it's just a fact of life, right? Like you can get upset or you can be like, yeah, this is true. This is what happens. Okay, now since I know that this is what's going to happen, well, what can I do about it? Right? Great question. What can you do about it? So many wonderful things. Now, remember that Ayurveda is a entire system, right? And I am going to give you some very specific tools for anti-aging, for aging gracefully today. But I want to remind you that there is no quick fix, right? If you want the results, you put in the effort. If you want a six-pack, you don't go to the gym once and then wonder why you're not buff. You have to do these things repeatedly, right? This is the difference between Western quick fix mentality, which often, wants the pill or like the magic laser, and that's fine. But this is about the lifestyle. Like, how can you live in a way that supports your whole body, that supports the divine alignment of your soul's purpose, that allows you to contribute meaningfully to society? And happiness is such a critical part of anti-aging that I think is often overlooked, right? Like, are you living in a meaningful way? Are you caught up in like squabbling with your husband or wife and like complaining, or whatever it might be? You're just driving kind of autopilot to work and then home and then Netflix. Like, is this really a way to live? No. So I just want to remind you that there's this opportunity to really think of making your whole life juicy, not just your body, but also your body. So some basics are, don't eat old food, right? If you eat old, lifeless food that has been frozen, that like is processed, you're gonna age more quickly. This is just the truth. And this is also the truth of eating food that has been treated with harsh chemicals, right? That has glyphosate, Roundup, all these chemicals impact your body. So if you're skipping the healthy food, the healthy organic food part, you're missing a lot, right? So you cannot age gracefully without healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle. So this means sweat every day. This means don't eat food that's been in the fridge for a long, long time. Like, in my opinion, the refrigerator is the worst food for causing premature aging, because if you didn't have a refrigerator, you would be forced to eat fresh, vibrant food every single day, right? But we don't have to now. So that is a really, really important part. And I would not be me if I didn't remind you of that. So taking care of your whole body. So again, this strong daily routine. You must exercise daily, right? Like, as we age, what's actually happening is that the muscles lower on your face, right? Like, you'll notice, like, getting older, you might see bigger bags under your eyes. It's because the muscle is actually creeping downward, and this is happening all over your body. So engaging your muscles, doing things that strengthen the muscles and like wrap them around the bone, like yoga, is really important and will help you look younger, right? Because it keeps the muscles more taut and in shape. So that's a really important thing to understand. But what about gut health? Well, this is also really important because your skin needs like healthy hydration and oil from the inside out. And if you are clogged with that ama, that like gunk of undigested food, which you are probably familiar with if you've been following this series or studied with me before, which many of you have. So this is really, really critical. But let's jump into the skincare component part. So when I was at Ayurveda school, and I still get this often where people will think I'm a lot younger than I am. But at Ayurveda school, like, everyone was always just so radiant, right? Like, people would come visit like for lectures or for different workshops, and they're like, how do you all look like this? Like, what is your secret? And I'm telling you, if you remember nothing else from today, remember this: oil is your friend. Oil is so much better than lotion at keeping your skin supple and hydrated. Now, what is oil? Does anybody know? Does anybody have a comment on where does oil come from?
Is it the seeds of a plant?
Correct. So oil comes from the seed of a plant. And what is the job of oil within the seed of the plant? Okay, this is kind of a tricky question. So if you don't know, it's okay. The job of oil is to preserve the life of the seed. It is to preserve those components that will then sprout and become something new. The birth, right? The birth of the plant is dependent on the oil protecting the core, protecting the inner part of the seed. So oil is literally made to preserve life, right? Oil preserves life. It protects the inner part of the seed and it protects your skin. So using oil regularly is the single most important part of Ayurvedic skincare. And what's really cool about using oil is that it not only is it great for your skin, like it will really soften fine lines, wrinkles, all of that. It also removes dosha from the body. What is dosha? So for those of you who have been following, vata and pitta are the primary doshas that get removed when you use oil on your body. And this has so many benefits for stress levels. So this is like the best thing to do. And what you will actually do is what is called abhyanga or self oil massage. Now, when I first learned this in school, I was like, what is this? This is so messy. This is everywhere. But now I literally have no idea how I ever didn't do this on a regular basis, because it makes me feel so much better. I'm not exaggerating. It's like, oh my God, I do this practice, and then I sit there and it's just like somebody just took a weight off my shoulders. Especially if you're prone towards anxiety or overthinking, just feeling stressed, like this self oil massage practice is a game changer. Now, how do you do it? Let's see. So there's a very specific way that this is done so that you don't mess up everything in your bathroom. And I'm telling you, I have so many like oily clothes and oily sheets, and I'm cool with that, but I want to give you all the opportunity to understand that it can get a little bit messy and to prevent it if you want to. So to do this self oil massage and to start using oil instead of lotion, this is the process, right? You'll take 2 towels, put one on the floor of the bathroom, and then use one for drying off that you're okay with getting some oil on, right? And as these get really, really oily, and you do this regularly, do not put them in your dryer because they could potentially catch on fire. Now, they would really have to be saturated for this to happen, but this did happen to someone that we know in Ayurveda school. It's like one of those myths that you hear about, like, be careful about your oil massage towels because your dryer can catch on fire. So be warned. And then you take a cup of oil that's appropriate to your constitution type that has been gently warmed, and use a full cup, right? And it's kind of a lot of oil, and it's supposed to be like, this should be like thick, like dripping off of you. And put it on, starting with the hands and the heart, the arms, always massaging towards the heart. Do your whole body this way. Get the feet, the bottom of the feet, the legs, everything moving up, right? Because that supports Venus return. And really massage yourself with love, right? Like, when is the last time you just touched your body and said, thank you? Like, we spend so much time criticizing or thinking like something's wrong with my belly or my arms or my face, whatever it is. And so rarely do we just like say thank you to this vessel that is carrying us through life. So how can this become a practice of appreciation for what you do have, appreciation for this body and the experiences that you get to have, right? Like, I know I take it for granted, and often it's not until we're sick that we realize how lucky we were. So let's bring that attitude of gratitude into this practice, like really saying thank you and apologizing for all the times you've been rude to your body, because I know you have, because I have, and all of my clients have. And it's this thing like where we shame our bodies, right? We shame our bodies for not being this way or that, or, my hair is too thin, my belly's too big, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too oily, I'm too dry. Let's just drop that, in this practice and give yourself some love. So once you have covered yourself in oil and you're just like this oily mess, you can't touch anything without getting oil on it, and just chill, right? Just sit there for 15 minutes. If you're somebody that really struggles with just sitting there, you can bring in, like I have in the past, watched, a Netflix when I really wanted the oil to sit on me for a long, long time. And then when you rinse it off, you want to leave a very fine film, right? You don't want to scrub it all off, but and you don't want to be oily, like super oily. So rinse it with warm water. I wanted to share that soap is not traditionally used in Ayurveda. Like, we always use chickpea flour. I don't use soap really except for on like my feet and my armpits, and that's it. For this reason, that soap is very drying. But do whatever you need to do. You can also use some soap and just not like a huge lather, just a little bit. One thing that I love to do if I don't have time for a full abhyanga is to just have like a sugar oil scrub in the shower, right? This is a great natural exfoliant. It doesn't have chemical preservatives, and using a sugar oil scrub will not only remove that outer layer of dead skin that's all dry and looks dull, but it'll make it more shiny, and then you get some oil in for that anti-aging benefit. So this is the best practice. So if you don't remember anything else, remember this. And even in Charak Samhita, which is this like 5,000-year-old classical text of Ayurveda, they love oil so much. This is straight from the Sanskrit, right? It delays aging. It provides a protective barrier. It removes excess vata. It actually nourishes the body tissues. And you can like get fancy with this if you want to. Like, I really like Banyan Botanicals massage oils. That's something that I use. They're a great company, B Corporation, and they've got medicated oils, right? Like Ayurveda actually most of Ayurvedic formulations have like at least 100 herbs in them and are just amazing. And, your skin absorbs stuff. So be mindful of what chemicals you put on your skin, like even sunblock over time really clogs the lymphatic system. Like, I know that's something I deal with being so pale, right? But like the best thing is just a hat and long sleeves or staying out of the hot, hot sun. So let's see if there are any questions. What kind of oils? Oh, yeah. Mom, were you wondering about that? Great question. Yeah. What kind of oils? So how do you know what oil to use? Well, we use the knowledge of your constitution type. So if you are, and you can change that based on the season. So right now it's pretty hot out. And if you tend to have a little bit oilier skin, then you can use coconut oil. This is actually the lightest of all the oils. So it's great for those people who are kind of overheating and for hot climates. Something that I'll do is mix coconut oil 50-50 with sunflower. Every single person can use sunflower oil, and it's great. It's tridoshic, meaning that it's great for any body type, right? Any constitution type. And always get organic, like especially food, oil, anything that's going on your body. Like you don't want to absorb all these nasty toxins and pesticides. And I know, y'all are living in Kansas, and I have a story for you about the water supply, just to put into perspective how much chemical exposure is happening. I have some friends in southern Kansas, which is where my dad is from, like old family friends, and they were like getting pretty sick. My friend's mom was sick, and then my friend who I grew up with was also got very sick and like had these horrible gastric distress issues and like throwing up, barely being able to eat, and just ended up getting really weak over time. And we, they were trying to figure it out. And this was before they came to me. But what we discovered is that the water supply had 270 times the legal limit of farming pesticides, right? So you're getting bombarded. And this is why I recommend, especially if you're in the Midwest, you need a filter on your shower. You can get one called Aquasana that's like $60, and filter your water. Do not drink tap water. Like that stuff is aging you. That stuff is poisoning you. Trust me, your health is worth, the $100 to get a filter. Really, really. So anyways, and I'll leave questions at there will be room for questions at the end too. Any other questions about Abhyanga or what kind of oil? Anybody? Nope. Okay. So I see one in the chat. Let me see. Where do you buy them? It depends on if you want the medicated oil, you can go to Banyan Botanicals. And then Magda also asked, how do you preserve sheets from oil? So making sure you rinse most of it off, but sometimes I have oil sheets, like sheets that I don't care about, because to me, like I would rather have like a juiced up, youthful looking skin, and I don't mind having oily sheets in exchange. For me, it's worth it. But I'm a little bit vain. So I will make sacrifices of sheets to look the way I want to. So it's kind of up to you. Like what are you willing to do, right? And then question of dark castor oil or vitamin E oil. I don't know dark castor oil, but castor oil is great. And no, I'm saying Banyan. I'll type it in the chat. 1 second. Banyan Botanicals. So you can definitely use castor oil for eyebrows and eyelashes, right? And I'm going to cover that right now as we go into hair care. And so I'll talk about castor oil in just a moment. But how do we take care of our locks, right? Because this is really about, what do people see when they meet you, right? They see your hair, they see your face, they see your skin, they see your eyes and teeth. And so what I'm focusing on teaching you today is how do we care for those things so that they look nice, right? Number one is don't use hot water to rinse or wash your hair, right? Always use lukewarm or cool. And this is really game changing for preserving natural oils. Like, I don't know, has anybody heard of the no poo movement? No, this is, people are not using shampoo so much anymore, because what they're discovering is that it's, it's full of harsh chemicals for the most part. Again, like body care products should be organic and natural. And I'm really grateful to my mom for, giving us those kinds of things. And she just had that awareness growing up. So thank you, Mom. Many things, lots of, great fruits and veggies in our house too. So you can add herbal rinses for your hair. Like when you're in India, when at an Ayurvedic retreat center, they'll actually bring you like a bucket of herbal water that you rinse your hair with. And then it just stays like a small film of the herbs. And that can be a lot of work, but if you really want to go there, you can. And you can get these hair oils that are really great for stimulating hair growth. But really, using natural shampoos and conditioners, if you do, and if you blow dry your hair, do it on the lowest setting, right? This prevents breakage over time, and so that you can have really nice hair. And in India, they oil their hair. Like that's a practice I picked up there. Like Americans tend to like this kind of big frizzy hair. Whatever you like, right? This is there is no one correct way to express yourself. Whatever you want to do, whatever makes you feel good. Don't criticize other people, do you. And if, you want that healthier hair shaft, these tricks will really help, right? It prevents breakage over time. Or you can just really go natural and get dreadlocks, right, Mom? Yeah. Then you skip a lot of this. So what are these famous hair formulas, right? Because this is something that can kind of make you feel insecure as you're aging, like your hair is getting thinner and you're like, where's my hair? So you can add Bringaraj hair oil. And for those who are interested, you can screenshot this. There's a special supplement, an herbal blend that's for hair. I'm also just taking like silica, folic acid, and biotin. Like I have a supplements company and I make a product for vegans. It's like a daily multivitamin, and it includes that so that you can have the healthy materials in your body for healthy hair, right? Shikakai is this herbal powder that's used to wash hair. It's all natural. Again, like, man, we are just getting bombarded with chemicals in our products constantly. So really learning to be mindful and using less chemicals on your body is so key to aging gracefully, right? Like it's so key. Castor oil. Now this is great if you have really dry skin or deeper kind of wrinkles. You can use castor oil under the eyes. But the really cool trick is you can use it to whiten your eyes. How does that work? So when you go to bed at night, you just add a drop of castor oil in each eye. It's totally safe, totally safe. You won't be able to see, right? Because it's kind of thick. It's got this film. So everything is going to look like there's tape over your eyes. But when you wake up in the morning, the whites of your eyes will be super bright, right? They'll be very shiny. And this is actually quite good for eye health. And it's great for eyelash health, right? So if you're using that regularly, you'll have these very bright eyes and your lashes will grow longer. And you can also use this on your eyebrows, right? Like this is a natural way to augment that. Yeah. And I mean, again, nothing is a substitute for just loving yourself. Also, just the way you are. Remember all of that with a grain of salt. So, any questions here on the Ayurvedic hair care? Well, I'll check the chat. Oh yeah, nettle is great for hair. Yes, absolutely. Nettle is Urtica diosha. It's wonderful as a hair rinse, and you can find it in these more like natural stores, right? Yes, someone says, Miss Geiger says she's just discovered the benefits of sesame oil on her skin and that her skin drinks it up. Yes, absolutely. Mine does too. Like I tend towards a lot of dryness. I'm a Pitta Vata constitution type. So my body is like, give me that oil. And Elena is asking, is castor oil good for dry eyes? Absolutely. It's really good for dry eyes. But also if you're experiencing dryness, and I'm so glad you brought this up, Elena, great segue. So if you have a lot of dryness on your body and you start doing oil massage and you feel gross, like if you feel kind of icky when you do it, like nauseous, or you just really don't like it, this is a sign that you have a lot of ama in your body, right? So if looking at your tongue, you have that thick coating, that tells you that you have so much of that ama that your body can't handle anything else. So it's not even able to digest the oil that wants to come in through your skin. And what you need to do in that situation is a cleanse, right? Now you can totally have ama in your body and still be able to do the self-oil massage. Absolutely. But I want you to know, if you do notice an aversion, you're like, no, ew, that's gross. This is why. And it's telling you something. Everything is always telling you something. We just get to learn how to read it. Okay, so, wait, where's the dental care section? Here we go. Ayurvedic dental care. This is a really, really cool one and really useful. You know, your smile is one of the things that is the first thing that people see about you. And a lot of people have a lot of cavities because of the lifestyle, because of this high sugar diet, this a lot of like processed foods. But also it can happen to people who have really good oral care, right? I'm one of those people, like I'm meticulous about brushing and flossing my teeth, and I still get cavities and it makes me totally insane, right? And what has supported that, what finally started to move the needle and make my teeth and gums look nicer, was using oil in my mouth. So as you may have noticed, oil is a very popular and prominent part of Ayurvedic everything, right? So the best way to care for your gums long-term and your teeth is to do this daily kind of oil pull, right? And when I say oil pull, I mean swish. Like you take a little bit of oil, put it in your mouth, and do that. Do that for 5 minutes if you can. It's also really good for the muscles in your cheeks and your face. It gives you a little like face yoga workout. So it's good for anti-aging routines, but it's really good for your teeth and gums. So again, the gum tissue is drying out as you age, right? Everything is, you naturally, the gum line starts to recede. So the oil is a great way to hydrate the gum tissue, right? It's keeping it juicy, keeping it plump and firm. And so adding this practice, and you can use it, you know, you can use the same oil you're doing Abhyanga with, is fine. Traditionally, sesame oil is used for the teeth. Like there's this very specific oil called Āyurvedas. But if you can't get it, don't worry about it. Just use what you're using for the body. And if there's active inflammation, then you can use coconut oil. Otherwise, I don't recommend it so much. But this also supports reduction of cavities because it removes vata and pitta from the mouth. And so the best way to do this is first you want to brush and floss your teeth, right? So you want to make sure all that tartar and stuff is out of the way. And this should be done in the morning. This is the ideal time, right? And then put the oil in your mouth, swish for 5 minutes, boom, done. So this is great for long-term dental health and keeping your smile very bright and healthy looking. I want to add to that to use a gentle bristle toothbrush, right? A lot of people have problems with wearing their enamel down because they're using this really hard toothbrush. And, and my teacher, Dr. Laud, always teased us about that Americans brush their teeth like they're cleaning a toilet. Like this kind of like, oh, you know, there's no gentleness. So I invite you, when you brush, it's not just like, oh, I'm scrubbing the toilet. It's like, no, you're taking care of the part of your body that's helping you eat food. So be gentle, right? Be gentle, really bring in that component of gum massage, right? With a gentle soft bristled toothbrush, like this. And I can't remember, Mom, did we use like natural toothpaste growing up or fluoride?
Well, I think a mixture.
A mixture. Yeah. Ayurvedically, we don't recommend using fluoride for a number of reasons, but I'm not your dentist. I'm just telling you what Ayurveda says. So those are kind of the main things regarding, you know, hair care, skin care, and tooth care. But I really wanted to leave a lot of extra time today for questions and things that you might be wondering about, because this is the last of the session in the series. So maybe you didn't get to ask something before. Maybe you're curious. You want to understand how to do something better. This is your time. You can have me like all the questions you want. You don't even have to pay me. All you have to do is show up here. So here's your time.
Well, hi, I have a question. If it is too complicated so I had multiple root canals done, and now I'm reading these horrible stories about the root canals. And, you know, even the reversal of it is not only controversial, it's like I would have to sell my house to pay for all of that because I have like 7 or 8 of them, you know. So I'm kind of trying to at least the fillings use the non-toxics or whatever. So, but like, how do I deal with it, knowing you know, for the rest of my life I will have 7 or 8 root canals?
Well, that is, yeah, that's a great question. The short, well, one thing you could think about is, and that I have personally done, is I went overseas to get dental care. And I know that sounds weird to say, but it's just a truth that many Americans deal with. And, you know, that is an option. You could go on a dental vacation. And that's just the sad truth of how this, like the totally broken, in my opinion, healthcare system in this country, right? Like how ridiculous that we even have to think this way. But this is the truth. So in the interim, are you experiencing problems because of it, or is it more the fear that you're having from reading that information?
On a recorded line, I am I am experiencing some problems, and I have I have.
Yeah. I mean, you know, without knowing what that is and without going deeper into things, I would investigate. Like, even Mexico has a lot of great biological dentists. I have some friends that use one in Tijuana. Maybe that's not the solution you're looking for, but that's what I can answer here right now. Yeah, let's see. I see something in the chat. Are organic bagged teas better than non-organic bagged teas? Organic is always better, right? Organic is always better. And there is something interesting about tea bags in that they're bleached. So I've actually stopped drinking tea from tea bags that are bleached because you're drinking a small quantity of bleach. Isn't that crazy? Like all these tools for convenience, right, are actually often quite detrimental for health. So loose leaf from like those jars at like the co-op, that's the best way to go always. Yeah. Anything else? Yes. Yeah.
So like maybe like what should be like the healthy daily routine, like in generic terms?
Yeah. Actually, I can share something with you. Give me a moment while I look it up. Is it still sharing? Let me see. I've got a great morning routine. Give me a second and I'll find that document for you. Because I think you're right. That's kind of the next step. Like, how do we put it together? Is there a checklist so I can have it all there in one place? And I have that for you. So let me see. Find that. Oh, and something else I wanted to just share is that you don't have to do everything every single day, right? Because that can get overwhelming. My daily routine is honestly, with the exercise and everything, it's like 3 hours. It's a really big part of my life. And it includes meditation and exercise. And like, for me, that is my priority in life. I hang out with people less. I have less free time as a result, but I feel better. Like, my body feels really good. And so for me, that sacrifice is absolutely worth it. That is not going to fit into everybody's lifestyle. And I'm aware of that. So I have this great article I'm just looking for, and I'm going to pull it up and we'll actually walk through it so that I can give you guys an example. Oh, that's great. The link is broken. Well, let's see. Sorry for the pause. Thanks for your patience. Okay. This is from my teacher, Dr. Basant Vlad. Yeah, he's the best. He's so cute. I hope that you all have the opportunity to look up a video. There's a really beautiful documentary that was just made about him that is describing just his journey from being coming from a small village in India to ending up in the United States as the most famous Ayurvedic physician. But so we'll spend some time going over this together. So consistency, right? Like, waking up early in the morning is really important. And according to your constitution type, right? Like, if you are a Vata person, you get up a little bit later, right? You want to get up around 6 a.m. Pitta people are supposed to get up by 5:30. And if you're Kapha, you're supposed to get up at 4:30 a.m. This is something that I have struggled with the most. And in like Vedic astrology, I have 3 planets in my ascendant, which can, like, if you have a lot of planets there, it makes it harder to get up. That's my excuse. But if you can get up early in the morning before the sunrise and really let that sun touch your eyes and skin, right, as soon as it comes out, this is so great for hormone regulation, for proper production of melatonin, right? Cortisol, peaks 30 minutes after waking, right? So actually having your coffee right when you wake up is it's not the best time, because you already have a natural adrenaline spike. And if you're that tired that you need coffee right when you wake up, then it's a sign that other things are happening in your body that you need to address, right? So regular morning waking time, really, really key, whatever it is for you. If it's not 4:30 a.m., I won't judge you. And then, Dr. Lad really says, say a prayer before leaving the bed. Like, whether you worship Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Allah, it doesn't matter. Just be grateful. right? Just be grateful for what you have and the gift of your body. And then you clean your face, mouth, and eyes, right? And he also recommends these great eye washes. Something you can do that's very easy is to get rose water and just spray it in your eyes, right? Organic rose water. It's kind of like putting on your rose-colored glasses, right? So that you can have that kind of peaceful attitude throughout the day. And drinking water first thing in the morning. I'm often shocked by, many of my clients don't drink water first, right? I mean, you haven't had water all night. Your blood volume is less, which is what makes you thirsty, by the way. Like when you're thirsty, it's because of that. You need water first. And the best thing to do is drink room temp or warm water. You can do it from a pure copper cup. An Ayurvedic tradition is to take a copper cup and fill it with water at night, and then you drink it first thing in the morning. You can also just have water with a squeeze of lime, because it's hot right now, and a pinch of salt, right? You want those electrolytes, but really starting your day with that, like hydrating your body. Again, remember that as we're aging, we're drying out. So you want to keep things juicy. And then you want to poop. Like, it's really important that you have regular bowel movements. And if you can do that first thing in the morning, that's fabulous, right? Now, not everybody has this experience, but if you do, this is a great sign that your digestive health is pretty good, right? And then you want to scrape your tongue, right? We didn't talk about that, I don't think, in any of these things, but this is a great practice because it gets you in touch with how well you're digesting, right? Remembering that when you look at your tongue and you see that white coating, this is a sign that the food from the night before, maybe it was too heavy, maybe you ate too late. But doing this regular tongue scraping not only lets you see how you're digesting, but it also stimulates your internal organs. Like, one of the skills I have as an Ayurvedic practitioner is I can look at people's tongue and understand how certain organs are functioning, if there's a certain nutrient deficiency. And when you get used to looking at your tongue, you can track these changes, right? So that you're aware when something is different, and you know it's time to do something about it. Yeah. And of course, cleaning your teeth. I actually think it's good to clean your teeth before you drink the water or do anything, right? Because you want to scrape all that stuff out, get it all cleaned up, and then drink water. Yep. Here we go. The oil pulling. This is what he means when he says gargling, right? To strengthen teeth, gums, and jaw, improve the voice, and remove wrinkles from teeth, gargle daily with warm sesame oil. And how he recommends it is, you're swishing it around and hold it in your mouth. And he actually will like gently massage his gums with the finger, just to kind of get the oil saturated. Chewing sesame seeds. This is a very traditional thing. I did this for a while. I actually really like it because I love sesame seeds. Like when I would go visit my Oma in Germany, my favorite thing was getting like fresh sesame rolls delivered to the house in the morning. So I like that. I think it's a great addendum, but kind of up to you. And Carol asked, will these slides be emailed? I don't share my slides. Yeah, but I will drop a link for this, the website, happily, and also to mine. So, and then oil drops into the nose. That's not something that we covered today, but it's actually really great to do, especially when it's hot. You can use this Brahmi ghee. And what you actually do is you lean your head back and you literally drop 3 to 5 drops of oil in your nose. It feels really good, especially when it's a high quality oil. And this is great for lubricating the sinuses. And when you use a medicated oil like Brahmi ghee, it's said to improve mental clarity. And that's something I've actually experienced, like when it's really hot out. I just started yesterday using Nasya oil again, because like in Austin, it's like 103 during the day. And even though I'm inside with AC, like my body's still feeling that heat, right? I'm still getting impacted. And when I do this, the nose drops, it makes a huge difference in my mental clarity and my patience level, right? I'm a fiery person, Pitta dominant. It's Pitta season. People are getting hot-headed. I can be one of them. So I do a lot of practices to help balance that, including herbs, herbal medicines I'm drinking every day, and doing these oils. And then adding oil into the ears. This actually feels really, really good too. And you want it to be warm. Like don't put cold oil in the ears. That feels terrible. A little trick is to get a little dropper bottle like that size, and then you just tuck it into the waistband of your pants for 5 minutes. It warms to body temp, and then you put the drops in your ears. And again, like you just have to do these things. It sounds weird, right? But once you actually try them, you're like, wow, that feels really, really good. And it feels good because it's pacifying dosha. It's calming down vata. It's great for people who have ringing in the ears, tension in the jaw. Really, really wonderful. And then here he's saying, do abhyanga. Apply oil to the head and body. And I didn't address that so much today, but putting oil on your head is an amazing experience. And it's kind of a commitment, right? Because you're going to have to wash your hair a couple times after. But if you want to try it, you follow the line of your part and you just kind of pour oil down it and then massage into your whole scalp. And this is just, it's like a brain massage. It feels so, so good. One of those things, again, where, it's a little more work to get the oil out of your hair, but absolutely worth the experience. And lastly, this is cute. I like that he says, wearing clean clothes brings beauty and virtue. Like I can hear his voice saying that. Give yourself a little bit of love through your clothes. Like wear things that you like, right? If you don't like stuff in your closet, throw it out. Like, why do you own it? If you pull it out and you're like, this makes me look bad or feel bad, get rid of it. I just did that. I just went through and got rid of a whole bunch of stuff because, well, why? I was saving it for wrong reasons and just let it go. And then like anointing your body with oil. This is a very beautiful thing to do. Just to like, this is your temple again. When you go to the temple, whether it's a Christian church, a Hindu temple, a Muslim temple, like it always smells good, right? It's never stinky because smelling good is so nice. So treating your body like the temple that it is. And exercise. He recommends doing Surya Namaskar, sun salutations, which I absolutely agree with. I do daily pranayama, breathing exercises. I do daily meditation. And now it's time for breakfast, right? Like, this is a lot. And what are we living life for, right? If not to enjoy it. And if we're living these lifestyles where taking care of our bodies properly and, walking and meditating are like too much, well, what are we doing? And that's something you can ask yourself. And the last thing he says, which I agree with, is that, if it's hot out, your meal should be light for breakfast. Like this is how you're kindling your digestion. This isn't the time to like have a big heavy meal that makes you sleepy, right? Just eat something light and then go about your day. So let's see, I will drop let me just copy that. And if you want to message me off of here, all of you certainly can. And I've got some other resources. But this is what we just looked at. It's in the chat. And yeah, that's it. Any last questions? Any concerns? I realize I just gave you like a huge information dump. And so you're probably all like, oh my God, she just told us like 40 things. So just go slow, you know, take it one step at a time. Do what you can, pick what's important to you, and then, you know, build the rest in as possible.
There's a question about vitamin E.
Yes. What is the question? Because it just says vitamin E oil. Is it good? Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming you're asking it, is it good for the skin? And yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. What cosmetics would I recommend? Really natural stuff, right? Let's see. I use like a tinted sunblock and mascara, and that's about it. Like, I'm not a makeup heavy person. But I would just look up anything like an organic line is good. It's going to be a little more expensive.
I think Dr. Hauschka, I use minimally like creams. I don't use any makeup either, but I like Dr. Hauschka because it's all plant-based. And then I think Wild Carrot, it's a natural grocer. And, you know, sometimes they have like 30% off or 20% off.
Yeah. Dr. Hauschka is really nice. It's a little expensive, but I really like their product line.
I always buy it on sale, you know, and then I just keep it in the refrigerator.
You're perfect. And then there's also, oh gosh, what is that brand? AYURVEDIC. I think it's called AYURVEDIC. That's what I've been using as a tinted sunblock. And they're like $20 for you know, foundation or something. But just looking at natural mineral-based products tend to be better cosmetic. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I think several of us are already planning to make an appointment with you. I definitely want to discuss my teeth. So thank you so much. This is really enlightening to many of us. Thank you for your wisdom and patience and kindness working with us. And I mean, good luck on your continuous journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.